A bombshell from Buckingham Palace has the world reeling. A new queen has been named, and it's not who anyone expected. Gasps echoed through royal circles as the announcement dropped, leaving fans stunned and sparking heated debates. Who is she? Why now? Today, we unravel the truth behind this jaw-dropping twist that's rewriting royal history. You won't believe what's coming. The British monarchy, an institution older than most nations, thrives on tradition, duty, and carefully managed surprises. But nothing could have prepared the public for the seismic shock of April 2025. A new queen has been named. Not a reigning monarch like Elizabeth II, nor a queen consort like Camilla, but a figure whose elevation has sent ripples across the Commonwealth and beyond. To understand this, we need to dive into the context, the players, and the whispers behind palace walls. Let's start with King Charles III, who's been at the helm since 2022. His reign, now in its third year, has been a balancing act, modernizing the crown while grappling with personal and political challenges. At 76, Charles has faced health rumors, family feuds, and a public questioning the monarchy's relevance. His wife, Queen Camilla, has carved out a respected role, championing causes like literacy and domestic violence awareness. But the announcement of a new queen isn't about Camilla stepping down or Charles abdicating. It's something else entirely, a move rooted in royal protocol, history, and a dash of controversy. The new queen is Sophie, Duchess of Edinburgh, now elevated to a title that's left jaws on the floor, Queen Sophie, albeit in a ceremonial sense tied to a Commonwealth nation. On April 10, 2025, during a state visit to Canada, Charles announced Sophie's appointment as the ceremonial Queen of Canada, a symbolic role reviving an old tradition last seen under Queen Victoria. The move, meant to strengthen Commonwealth ties, caught everyone off guard. Sophie, married to Prince Edward, Charles's younger brother, has been a quiet force in the royal family, dependable, scandal-free, and beloved by the late Queen Elizabeth II. But a queen? That's a plot twist even M. Night Shyamalan couldn't dream up. Why Sophie? Let's backtrack. The monarchy's relationship with the Commonwealth, 56 nations, 2.5 billion people, has been under strain. Countries like Jamaica and Australia are flirting with republicanism, and Canada's own polls show 45% want to ditch the crown, per a 2024 Angus Reid survey. Charles, aware of his mother's devotion to the Commonwealth, needed a bold gesture to keep it glued together. Enter Sophie, who spent years building ties in Canada through charity work and low-key visits. Her warmth and work ethic made her a natural choice, but the title Queen of Canada has sparked a firestorm. The decision traces back to a little-known precedent. Historically, monarchs appointed family members as symbolic heads in dominions to personalize the crown's presence. Victoria did it in the 19th century, naming her children as regional kings and queens to cement loyalty. Charles, digging into this playbook, saw Sophie as a modern equivalent, someone to embody the monarchy's commitment without overshadowing his reign. Palace insiders say he consulted William and Camilla, who both backed the idea, though William reportedly worried about the optics. After all, naming a new queen when Camilla's already in the role is a PR minefield. Let's talk about Sophie herself. At 60, she's the royal family's unsung hero. A former PR professional, she joined the firm in 1999 when she married Edward, the youngest of Elizabeth II's children. Unlike other royal spouses, Sophie dodged major scandals, focusing on issues like disability rights and women's empowerment. Her bond with Elizabeth II was tight. Some say she was like a daughter to the late queen. In Canada, Sophie's visited hospitals, schools, and Indigenous communities, earning quiet respect. But respect doesn't equal readiness for a title as loaded as queen. The announcement came during a glitzy Ottawa banquet, with Charles, Camilla, and Sophie facing Canada's elite. Charles, looking frailer than usual, spoke of renewing bonds and honoring my mother's legacy. Then, the bombshell. I named Sophie Duchess of Edinburgh as Queen of Canada to serve as our family's heart in this great nation. The room fell silent. Sophie, poised but visibly stunned, gave a brief nod. Camilla clapped first, breaking the tension, but social media erupted. X posts ranged from "Sophie's earned it" to What is Charles thinking? The hashtag #NewQueen trended for days. Why the shock? For one, the title's archaic. Canada's a modern democracy, not a 19th century colony, and slapping a royal label on Sophie feels out of touch to some. Critics argue it's a desperate bid to prop up a fading institution. Canada's Governor General already represents the crown, so why add a queen? Others see it as a slight to Camilla, though palace sources insist she's unbothered, proud to share the stage. Then there's William, the heir, who stayed silent. Is he on board, or does he see this as a distraction from his own plans to streamline the monarchy? Let's dig into the public's reaction. In Canada, it's a mixed bag. Urban centers. Like Toronto and Vancouver lean skeptical, CBC reported 60% of Canadians in a Snap poll called the move irrelevant. But rural and Indigenous communities where Sophie's done groundwork are warmer. One Manitoba chief praised her as someone who listens, a nod to her reconciliation efforts. Globally, royal fans are split. British tabloids screamed, "Queen Sophie," with heart emojis, while Australian outlets quipped, "Another royal we don't need." X is a circus. Memes of Sophie in a crown clash with rants about monarchy's cost. The palace expected pushback, but underestimated its intensity. Republican groups seized the moment, with Canada's Citizens for a Republic demanding a referendum. In Australia, the Republican movement tweeted, "If Charles thinks a new queen saves the monarchy, he's dreaming." Even in the UK, where Sophie's approval sits at 65% per YouGov, some grumble about title inflation. The royals are used to criticism, but this feels different, a gamble that could backfire if Sophie stumbles. What's the bigger picture? Charles's reign is about legacy, and the Commonwealth is his battleground. Losing Canada, a core member, would gut the organization Elizabeth II cherished. Sophie's role, ceremonial or not, is a firewall against that. She'll attend events, open parliaments, and champion causes like education, all while dodging the meddling label that plagued Charles as Prince of Wales. But it's a tightrope. If she's too active, she risks alienating Canadians who want less monarchy, not more. Too quiet, and the title's pointless. Now let's address the elephant in the room: Charles's health. His gaunt appearance in Ottawa fueled speculation, especially after his 2024 tour cutbacks. No diagnosis has been confirmed, but insiders say he's pacing himself, delegating more to William, Kate, and now Sophie. Naming a new queen could be his way of shoring up the firm before an uncertain future. William's readying for the throne. He's taken on state visits and hosted banquets, but Sophie's elevation buys time, spreading the load. Camilla, meanwhile, keeps humming along, her domestic violence work earning praise. Is Sophie's title a hint Charles sees his reign as a sprint, not a marathon? The family dynamic is juicy. Sophie and Edward have flown under the radar, raising their kids, Lady Louise and James, away from the spotlight. But this thrusts them center stage. Edward's now King of Canada in name, though his role's less defined. Some wonder if Charles is grooming them for bigger things, especially with Harry and Meghan out and Andrew persona non grata. William and Kate, the monarchy's golden couple, are supportive. Kate's even hosted Sophie at Kensington for strategy talks. But Harry? Radio silence. A reunion with Sophie in Canada could be a wild card, though Meghan's skepticism of royal titles makes it unlikely. Historically, this isn't new. The monarchies survived by adapting. Think Victoria's empire building or Elizabeth II's TV broadcasts. Sophie's title is Charles's attempt at reinvention, but it's riskier than a coronation. Victoria's kids faced less scrutiny. Today's X posts dissect every move. Sophie's no stranger to media. Her 1999 PR gaffe taught her resilience. But Queen puts a target on her back. She's prepping with media training and a beefed-up staff, but one misstep could tank the experiment. What's Sophie's game plan? Sources say she'll lean into listening, meeting Canadians, amplifying voices, not preaching. Her first event, a Toronto hospital opening, drew cheers, but protests loomed nearby. She's studying Elizabeth II's playbook: smile, nod, stay neutral. Unlike Camilla, who's weathered worse, Sophie's untested at this level. Her PR instincts help. She's already dodged questions about replacing Camilla with charm, but Canada's diverse vocal public will test her. The global stage matters too. Commonwealth leaders, from New Zealand's Prime Minister to Barbados's president, are watching. Barbados ditched the monarchy in 2021. If Canada wavers, others could follow. Sophie's title aims to charm them back, but it's a tough sell. Her environmental work aligns with Charles's passions, giving her clout at summits, but she's no diplomat. If she wins hearts, Charles's gamble pays off. If not, it's a footnote in royal flops. Let's talk money. The monarchy costs Canada $67 million annually, per the Monarchist League, covering security, visits, and more. Sophie's role adds a fraction: staff, travel, but critics pounce. Why fund a ceremonial queen? Asked one ex-user, echoing thousands. Defenders argue it's cheaper than a president and boosts tourism. The debate's heated, with Sophie caught in the crossfire. Her frugal style, re-wearing outfits, skipping pomp, might blunt the noise, but only so much. The public's obsession with this story taps into something primal. Royalty fascinates because it's human, flawed, striving, caught in history's glare. Sophie's no Cinderella. She's a working mom thrust into a crown. Fans adore her relatability. One ex-post called her the queen we didn't know we needed. Haters see privilege personified. Both sides fuel the frenzy, from TikTok edits to Reddit threads. It's the crown in real time, minus the script. What's next? Sophie's Canada schedule ramps up. Vancouver, Quebec, Nunavut. Each stops a chance to prove herself or falter. Charles, back in London, faces his own tests. Health, family, a restless nation. William's prepping for a 2026 tour, eyeing his future. The palace, ever cagey, leaks just enough to keep us guessing. Was Sophie's title a trial run for bigger changes? Is William pushing a leaner monarchy behind the scenes? Picture Sophie, in Ottawa, staring at a snow-dusted Parliament Hill. She's no longer just Edward's wife, she's a queen, with all the weight that brings. Her phone buzzes. It's Charles, with a cryptic message about William's next move. What's he planning?